Hello guys and welcome back to another reading blog. This reading blog is going to be a little different from the rest of my reading blogs just because I'm starting this kind of series where I read a book that I'm really excited about, that I want to read, that is very hyped, or just that I've been anticipating for a very long time. So my plan is to read one of these books that I have selected every month and just upload a reading blog just regarding that one book. Don't worry, it's gonna be spoiler free, but the point for me of doing this kind of blogs, it's so you guys can see the process of me reading a very anticipated or hyped book and see my thoughts, see what I think about the book. However, I'm not gonna spoil it. My initial idea was to spoil the book and actually discuss the book and what I thought about it, but I did a poll on Instagram and mostly everyone said to just make them non-spoilery, that way people can watch and enjoy the blog without getting spoiled. And the reason why I had decided to maybe discuss it more in detail and give spoilers was because these books have been very popular and they have been very hyped. They have a wide audience and most people have read them. So my thought was, because I haven't read them and because a lot of people love them, I wanted to see if they would like, I wanted to see if people liked or care what I thought about them. However, that's not going to be the case. I'm not going to spoil them. I'm just going to keep it spoiler free. And so this is the first reading blog on that kind of like series that I'm trying to do. So the book that I'm going to be reading for this blog is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This book, a lot of people have read it and a lot of people love it. It is adult fantasy and I have no idea what this book is about, except for the fact that the magic in this world sort of universe comes from metals. That's all I know. I don't know how the metals work. I don't know how they get the metals, but that is all I know about this book. Today is Wednesday and I started reading this one I believe on Sunday, so I am like 50 pages into it. I can't say much about it right now. The only thing that I can say right now is that it's not a slow book at all. I think it has a nice pace, but there's a lot of characters already, and I believe the main character on this story is Calcier, I believe that's how you pronounce the name. Not sure. There was someone at the beginning who I thought was the main character, but it wasn't. There's a lot of characters already and I'm not sure who our main character is. I think I know who it is. I think it's Calcier, but I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure this out. Like I said, it's a big world, it's a big universe, so that is all I have for right now. So I will keep you guys updated. I'm actually working from home this week, so I have to get back to work. I just wanted to give you guys this intro before I lose daylight, but I will keep you guys updated. I'm planning to read more of this tonight, so yeah. morning, guys. It is Sunday. It is about 10:30 in the morning, and I've been sitting here just relaxing, reading Mistborn. I am on page 229 of this, and I finally know what this book is about and the characters that we're following and how the magic works. It is such a good book. So far it's just like a great beginning, and they are just explaining everything. So basically this universe is kind of like at its end, mostly. Like there's the sun is red, nothing, like the trees are not green, there's a constant ashfall everywhere. So like you can imagine this like gloomy, dark environment, no fresh air, and just like very gloomy. That's what I picture, like this, like the orangey grayish filter. That's what I think of this, like like a constant fog. And obviously, and then they talk about a mist, so that makes it even more like foggy. So you just think about this foggy setting and like the outskirts. So basically we follow Kelsier, who is a Mistborn, and he finds another Mistborn. Her name is Vin. So he kind of takes her under his wing and shows her the magic and how the magic works. Like I mentioned before, the magic in this world is like you have to use metals, and that means like metals around you, coins, doorknobs, just like anything from your belt, just like any metal. And I just love how well because he is teaching Vin all about the metals and how to use the magic. So he's explaining to the reader as well. Like, so I think it's just a smart way to tell the reader and explain to the reader how the magic works and how the metals work, because Vin is learning, we are learning, and it's such a good, and I just think it's such a good way to do it. So I think the plot of this book is mainly Kelsier is organizing like a group of thieves who are gonna overthrow the lore ruler. But this lore ruler is like kind of like a god. He can't be destroyed, and there's some inquisitors, and then he has like a whole ministry. There's so many people, like the bad people, like the ones that they have to overthrow. They're like everywhere, so they have to deal with all of this little, like they have to deal with a bunch of different groups in order to overthrow the Lord Ruler. However, there is sort of this rebellion going on with like the Ska, which are the people who are like the very low, like in the social aspect, they're like the lowest. They are mistreated, they are overworked, so there's sort of like a rebellion going on, and they want to overthrow the Lord Ruler. But then there's Kelsier, who is a Mistborn, who can control all of the metals and has like all the power to bend, sort of thing, all of the metals. Because technically there's also Mistings who can also, Mistings, I believe they're Mistings, who can just control like one metal. But if you control more than one metal, you are most likely a Mistborn. So that is what Kelsier and Vin are. And we follow Kelsier's point of view as well as Vin's point of view. Well, it's not first person, it's told in third person, but we follow both of their sides of the story. So technically they are both our main characters, which I really like. I'm picturing Kelsier to be like a 35-year-old man. He might be younger, he might be older, I'm not sure. But I was thinking of Vin. I thought Vin was gonna be like in her late 20s, but I think she's like young, maybe 18. I don't think she would be 16. I think she's like in her 18 or early 20s, I'm not sure. But I'm really enjoying the book. So the thing that I really like about this book is that it explains to you what they're planning to do. So like, for example, Sarah J Maas tends to do this all the time, whereas like she never, like in her books, she never tells you what they're planning, how they're planning it. Like, it just happens, and then she tells you like, oh, like this was planned like since book one. Like, she knew what she was doing, you know what I mean? But in here, they're like, for example, I mentioned Kelsier is getting this group together of people, so they go through the plan and they see what they can do, what they should do, and they also think about the outcome of things, and then they tell you, it's like, well, we need to deal with this, and then we need to deal with this too because of this. And just like everyone, like every person gives their own perspective and what they think they should do, and they're just planning everything and explaining things. And I'm pretty sure I picked up on it because Sarah J Maas always does that in her books. I love her books, don't get me wrong, but I've noticed that she always does that. It's like at the end, it's like, oh my god, no, this had been her plan all along. They never show you like what they're thinking, how they're planning it, if they're even thinking of the outcome, if it's gonna work or not. I mean, it always ends up working in those books, but here is like, we'll see what happens. Like, we know we are risking way too much, and we know this is a dangerous task, but we want to see what happens. And I'm really enjoying it. I also like Kelsier's character because he's this mysterious guy that most people know and everyone trusts, but then at the same time he has some secrets and he can be very dangerous. And then we have Vin, who has, oh my gosh, she has so many trust issues, and it's so weird because Kelsier is all about trusting people and trusting his crew and everything. So like, he goes based on trust, whereas Vin grew up knowing or believing that you can't trust anyone. Everyone's gonna betray her one way or another, just because her brother used to tell her all the time that she would be betrayed, that she couldn't trust anyone. So they have very different beliefs when it comes to trust. And I think because, and I don't know, like, I'm thinking, is Vin gonna trust Kelsier at one point? Like, who's right? Should she trust everyone? Can we trust him? I mean, he makes you believe that you can trust him so much. Like, he makes you believe that he is the most trusting guy ever. But then you have Vin, who's like, I shouldn't trust anyone. So it's like, who's right? Like, who are we gonna believe at the end of the day? And then it's just like I said, Kelsier has so many secrets, and then he also has a personal reason as to why he wants to overthrow the lore ruler. So that's pretty much the premise of the book. There are no spoilers in any way because it's just like the base of the book, and if you want to read it, it's something that you would probably want to know. It's not spoilery in any way. I just think it's very interesting. I also like the pace of the book because even though it's a big book, it goes so, like, it flows so easily, and you just want to keep reading. Like, it's not boring, but then it's also like you can put it down and then come back to it later. I really enjoy the writing style because it keeps you interested. What it's doing right now, it's a lot of explaining and telling you about this place. It's not boring. That's what I like. So far, so good. Okay, it's almost 11. I think I'm gonna do another bike ride and probably have lunch. So we'll see. I want to read to page 400 today. Hopefully it happens. So I will get back to you guys later. Alright guys, so I just woke up from my little nap. I was not planning to take, but I was reading, and then Shensi just laid next to me. She fell asleep. Then soon after that, I also fell asleep. I think I am technically halfway there. If you guys, maybe a little bit more. I am on page 342, chapter 20, and you guys, it's so far so good. There was a very action-packed scene, and then it kind of like slowed down into like more information kind of thing, and then Vin was kind of like being a spy. So that's the point where I kind of like fell asleep because it wasn't like a point of action. So I think it was like it slowed down a little bit and I just fell asleep. But anyways, Shensi, I'm gonna try to get to page 400 right now. My boyfriend went to get us food because I didn't cook anything today. So while he gets back, I'm gonna read and see how far I can get. Hopefully I can get to page 400 so I can meet my goal for today and finish it tomorrow. That is my goal because I did borrow the audiobook from the library and it's due tomorrow, I believe. It's either due tomorrow, not due tomorrow, it's due on Tuesday. So I have to finish it by tomorrow. So that's my goal. I want to finish it by tomorrow, and also because I want to read another book this month. I still have time. It's barely January 24th. We're good here, so I'm gonna read right now, and this will probably be my last update because after my boyfriend gets back from getting the food, we're probably just gonna watch Ugly Betty again. You guys, also, yes, I want to talk about that. I am rewatching Ugly Betty. My boyfriend has never watched it before, and I recently got Hulu, and Ugly Betty is in Hulu. If you guys haven't watched Ugly Betty, please watch it if you guys have Hulu. It's such a good show. I remember I watched it about 7 years ago. My sister is actually the one who watched it and got me into it, and I remember I loved the series. And then when I got Hulu, I saw that it was there. So I was like, you know what? I think I need to watch it. I need to rewatch it. We just finished season 1 last night, and oh my god, I cried so much. You guys, why? If you guys don't know, because also, if you guys don't know, I love Lucifer, and if you guys have seen Lucifer, you guys know Daniel, who is the Mr. Douche, or however Lucifer calls him. He comes out in Ugly Betty. He plays Santos, and if you guys have watched season 1, you guys know what happens to Santos, and I was crying so much because I feel like I was more attached to him as Daniel. I don't know, it was weird, just shows. Anyways, yeah, I'm really enjoying watching Ugly Betty again, and it's such a good show. So we are just probably gonna watch that and go to bed, and then tomorrow I have a full day of work, so I'm gonna try to finish the book like after work, so I will keep you guys updated on that. You guys, it is Thursday. How is it Thursday and I'm still not done with Mistborn? I'm not sure. I think I have about 120 pages left, maybe a little bit more, but I am planning to finish this book today. Today's the day because I have to post this vlog tomorrow. I am working from home today again, but I finished everything that I had to do, so I technically don't have much to do. In case anything comes up, then I will definitely be working. But while I wait for things to be sent over, I am planning to read more of the book, hopefully finish it by tonight. It is like 12:30 right now, so I am technically in my lunch, so I do have to get lunch though because I am hungry. So I'm gonna have lunch right now. I am probably gonna watch a video and then I'm gonna continue reading because guys, it's getting good. I'm not gonna say what page I'm in. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil anything. However, I do want to say that there was a part in the book, like I want to say it was about 200 pages, that it kind of like slowed down a lot for me. Like I had mentioned before, this book is not boring at all. It's not. I don't find myself bored. It's just the fact that a lot of things are happening. There's a lot of information So those 200 pages were like more information, and just like there was not a lot of action during those few pages, so that made me put the book down. It's easy to put the book down, but then once you start reading again, it's like you just want to keep reading, and just like, but it's not like, oh my god, it's a page turner. No, it's just like you're just turning the page and like not even notice, like you don't even notice. Well, I don't even notice when I'm like flipping the page, and like next thing I know, like I already read 40 pages. But once I put it down, I'm not like eager to get back into the book, if that makes sense. I think the next few pages are gonna be full of action. I mean, it's like the end of the book, so most books do that, and I think it's setting up for the second book really nice, and I'm excited to get to the second book. I mean, it depends how this one ends, but I'm excited to continue with the series. And before I forget, because I'm probably gonna forget this at the end, I know I was telling you guys this before, but something that I really like about this story is that it explains what the characters are thinking and what they're planning, and just how things go. But another thing that I really enjoy is like there's another point of view that we saw. I'm not gonna say who, but I really like how things don't go the way that they planned them, and it shows how other characters do realize that there's a group planning or plotting to do something, and then this other group is like, okay, I think something's going on, we have to do something, and then whatever this group planned, like, it doesn't go accordingly to the plan. And I just like, I really enjoy that. Like, people's plans like get ruined, they get discovered. It's just a really good book. And there's also a romance. I'm not gonna say who, I'm not gonna say what characters, but I was not expecting a romance at all. But I kind of like the romance. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, I mean, I'm rooting for them, but also I think there's a lot going on that might not happen. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything, but I was not expecting a romance, but there's a romance. We'll see what happens. Something's happening right now. I need to get back to it so I can figure out what happens. I am almost done with the book. I'm not gonna say how many pages I have left. I'm not gonna say the chapter. I'm just gonna say that things happened and I am shocked. I don't even know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, but then I didn't want it to be true. And then it's just like, it hit me right now that it did happen. And I don't know if I want to cry. I don't know if, I don't know what I want to, like, I don't even know what's gonna happen in the next few books. I don't know what to say. This is the first time that this book left me speechless. And I was not expecting that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. And now I'm just wondering how this whole series is gonna end, or what's, like, I just don't know. So far the book was just like steady. It's a good book. It hadn't done this to me yet. And I've told you guys that this book tells you we as readers are included in the plans, and we know what's gonna happen. We know what they were planning, and then you think, I thought I was being part of it and I was enjoying it, for one of the characters to be like, hey, just kidding, I had other plans. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this moment. I'm just gonna finish reading the book and I'll try to gather my thoughts and then come back to you guys, because right now I am shocked. I was not expecting this, but it happened. Oh my god. Okay guys, I finally finished Mistborn by Sanderson, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed a lot of the aspects of this book, especially, I mean, the magic. I think we know that it is a very special and different kind of magic. I knew this at the start of this. I mean, this whole idea of burning metals to get your powers, all the different metals would do different things. Like some would enhance their abilities, some would enhance their senses, and then they would do different things. So it was like, and it was really cool learning about how the metals worked and how many kinds of metals and what the metals did and how like they were set, and how you can group them differently. So the magic system, it's very intriguing, as well as like the world building of this, and also the whole idea of the Lord Ruler. First of all, he was kind of like the god evil thing of this whole story, and then it wasn't just him that they had to worry about. There were also inquisitors, and then the obligators, and then the ministry. So there was like, oh, and then the houses, like the powerful, there were a few powerful houses as well, that like the political aspect of the world. And then the scat was the lower class, and they were mistreated and they were very unjust to them. So of course they wanted to rebel. There was only one thing that happened that I wasn't happy with, and I'm still not happy with, because I think it wasn't fair, just because I really liked this about the book and I wanted it to continue in the next books. So I am sad about that. However, I am looking forward to the next books, because I have a few theories of what's gonna happen, or like what's gonna happen with Vin. I told you guys about her, and she is definitely one of my favorite characters, which is good because she's like one of the main characters, and I am looking forward to learn more about her and her story and what's gonna happen with hers. I have heard that the second book is a lot better, maybe more action. This one was like, I don't want to say it was low paced, but I think it was just giving you a lot of the background, a lot of like it was beginning the story and explaining what's going on and how they got to this situation. So I don't know, I really enjoyed the story. I am glad I finally read it. But anyways, I am looking forward to the second book. Let me know if you guys would like to see another vlog just dedicated to the second book and maybe the third book, or if you guys don't mind me just having them in regular reading vlogs, that's fine as well. Now I have to edit the whole vlog because I haven't done it yet, and it should be up by tomorrow, so I have to do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.